back for the very final stream for DCEU Mania. Brandon and I just finished Blue Beetle, and plot twist, I kind of enjoyed it this time, especially after the stream of duds that we've had the last couple of days. If you want to have a better experience watching Blue Beetle, just watch Flash right before it. Do a double feature with Flash and Blue Beetle, and that crap's amazing now. Anyway, welcome.
They made an actual movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually a movie. You could follow it, and the special effects don't make me want to throw up, which is exciting, and that's where my bar is right now. Tonight, I've got Austin, the Day Ghost, my regular host for these. He's only missed one, and sadly, it was a good one.
My second favorite film of the series.
And we've
like
also
one
got...
of three I like.
Hey, I got to introduce Brandon to it. He had a good time.
Yeah.
He had fun watching that. And we've also got Robert Wild, who's here for no reason I can explain.
Yep.
The
actual reason...
We need all the help we can get for this.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was literally just on John's channel, Haven of Horror, and we did a double feature of the original Piranha and the 2010 remake. So I had to keep the theme going. This is a triple feature.
Is that why? Is that why you couldn't be here for?
It's a triple feature that gets worse with each movie too.
Yeah.
I assume I haven't seen this, but I assume
it's probably accurate.
Well, we got to have three co-hosts because Aquaman's got his trident now, and he's actually it's three-pronged. So that's
we'll say that's the DCEU Mania Trinity.
Exactly. It's epic, folks. So like I've said before, not with a bang but a whimper, but we will do our level best to make this fun and engaging. And there will be one more stream related to this in a week. So I'm taking this next week off. I'm going to be out of town. So no streams at all next week. And then after that, we'll be back to more or less our regularly scheduled programming. July is going to be nuts with all the movies that we're going to have to review. We're going to have to come right back with Jurassic World if I can get that watched on vacation. We're going to have Superman the week after. We're going to have Fantastic Four a couple weeks, I think, after that. So it's just going to be a nutty July. So much going on. But Austin and I are going to come in and do our ranked list for the DCEU. And Robert, if you want to make one, feel free to pop in with us on that one too. It's totally up to you. But at least Austin and I will be there on that show. Yeah, the more the merrier. Let's just pad that thing out too. Why not? But I'm glad
you have been here for a lot of these.
He's been here for a lot of these. Yeah, Robert is definitely qualified to come in and do that with us.
I'll show up if Brandon's there. I want Brandon to be there.
Number 1, Blue Beetle. Good night, everybody.
Number 2, Justice League. Good night, everybody. Yeah, because Austin, you were there for the beginning, but he was talking about how recently he watched the theatrical Justice League for some reason, and so he has seen that.
Oh,
recently.
okay.
Yeah.
That must have been tragic, just seeing that in a vacuum.
Well, he had seen it before. I guess I didn't remember this. He wanted to show it to his girlfriend for some reason. I don't know why, but he was like, but he reminded me, and I had forgotten about this, that we watched both that and the Snyder Cut the same week when the Snyder Cut came out. I forgot that I had him over for that. But that's
okay,
why. Yeah. I don't know if he was there for our spoiler cast or if he watched it with me when I watched it the second time around. I think, or not spoiler cast, but the watch party. I think he probably just watched it with me. I don't know. I have no recollection.
He might have been there for the watch party. I don't remember.
I mean, it would be easier for us to go back and find it. I'll figure that out. But anyway.
I know one of the best parts of that is that DJ's wife was there for the first half, and then at the halfway break, she was like, "This is the same movie. I'm leaving."
She didn't come back. So, is Aquaman 2 also 2023? This was like Christmas of that year, right?
Yeah, exactly. December at least. Yeah.
Which is funny because this doesn't now, of course, feel that long ago. just the end of 2023. So we're finally caught up really close to present day now.
Is the Batman the only DC movie to come out in 2022? Because I think
I think so.
there's a lot of stuff like the Flash.
I think maybe Super Pets was
Super
that year.
Pets, okay.
Did you say that too?
Yeah, I think it was those
Awesome
two.
set. All right. Because obviously the Flash just keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah.
And it was going to come out in 2022.
It was supposed to be 22, and that's why all that
2023.
merchandise was printed, and they had to figure out what to do with it. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and do this. So once again, our last movie, can we say bittersweet? I mean, I'm kind of ready for this to be done, to be honest with you.
That's right. Okay, great. Black Adam is also 2022.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I'm ready
to
right.
That was. Right. Okay, great. It says Year of the Rock. Yes, because they had Super Pets and then Black Adam.
And then, because they're only months apart, yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious. That was the lead-in movie for Black Adam somehow. Well, Austin, I'd love to say we'll never have to watch these movies again, but alas, there's still the
I keep thinking that to myself, where I'm like, I will gladly never watch most of these movies again, and then I'm like, we gotta do a rewind at some point.
But the nice thing is we can put them off now because we've just done this recently, so we might not do one of these for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right, let's get into it. Everybody get ready to press play. When I say now, get to timestamp 0. And this one I do not own a hard copy of, like I mentioned yesterday. I think this is only one of 2 that I don't have and did not go procure right before this. So, nothing to show right now. But I will endeavor to find it on DVD. That's my plan. All right, everybody. I appreciate you hanging out with us. We will read Patreon comments as we go. If you want to get one in and you haven't yet, $2 here, patreon.com/geekvolution. And Austin, if you'll read the Discord ones, I would appreciate it.
Yep, I got them loaded.
We actually got a decent number for this again. These have been consistent. We've always had like 6, 7, 8. It's been really great.
Mm-hmm. More and more, I haven't seen this movie. I've seen one of 2 of them. But consistently getting quite a few.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna be weird because Austin has not sat through this movie. So this is one of 2 movies that you hadn't seen. Because what was the other one? Shazam 2, right?
Yep.
And
that was a rough one. So
I'm absolutely stalling. Okay, here we go. Because I'm not looking forward to the baby montage. Anyway, at least it's not in a microwave. Let's get started. Here we go.
That's true.
Everybody, please press play right now.
That's where we're at. If there's no baby in a microwave, you're doing something right.
They did the same logo.
Basically.
It's the exact same logo.
Oh, and I guess this is probably the last film to have this DC intro with all the characters.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really talked about it, but I've never liked how generic of a DC logo.
Me neither. I talked about that on the first one I was on for these.
Oh, it's Public Domain Entertainment worked on this.
I mean, it's not awful or anything.
No, it's just generic. And it's weird because a lot of them are like very traditional. Like your Aquaman isn't anything like this Aquaman. You have Green Lantern, who they're still not wanting to show. And then when they go out to the bigger version, like you have stuff like Nightwing and stuff that we were just never gonna get.
No, you're right. That's why it kind of sucks. Where it's reminding you of what you wish you were seeing. Is it storming outside of your house?
Why can't we have this DC universe?
Is it storming outside of your house right now?
Yes.
Because it was like lightning on my screen, and it was lightning behind you, and I was having like this weird 3D effect.
Well, I wanted to show up like Dark Knight Returns Batman.
So let's see if I'm still right about this. But in the theater, like when we did the spoiler cast, I said the seahorse looks god awful at the start, and then kind of okay at the end, and I don't understand why the special effects are so inconsistent. That the same. The same animal, it's got to be the same model, looks different in different shots.
And this is
nice playing with action.
One of the scenes.
I was kind of into that scene. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
we're back now.
Kind of. This has a reshoot feel to me.
Oh, wait, it totally does.
Yeah.
Like we need another scene of Aquaman just fighting people, but also more wacky shenanigans.
He's making his own Once Upon a Deadpool in his initial movie.
Yeah.
Why does Aquaman just get progressively dumber and more childish with these
Well, that's
movies?
why I was like, I'm kind of into this moment until we cut to the baby thing, because it was like really stupid. Where it's like, I may not be good at things. People call me dumb and silly, but I'm good at breaking heads. Ah!
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to live in this moment.
Yeah, and then you got to have your standard. He doesn't know how to change the diaper.
This-
nonsense.
yeah.
I hate this
Oh.
crap.
I hate this movie already.
We're doing this stuff. Yeah, and I'll say I enjoy the first Aquaman movie. It's a big dumb Saturday morning cartoon. I had a good time with it, and
Yeah, that's what I had with it.
I didn't much care for this one.
No, and it's so obligatory and pointless and really sequelitis-y.
Yeah.
And the big worry I had with that first movie, as I've said a million times, is it was too packed with stuff, and it felt like it left nothing for a sequel. And then that's what I saw.
That's totally what happens, but what's weird is, you know who's not in the first movie who could have been in the sequel?
Who's that?
Aqualad.
Yeah.
How is that not what you do in the sequel? Particularly, or if you want to go modern, like the Aqualad who's the son of Black Manta, our main antagonist of this movie.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
your
good
story.
point. But we're also weirdly like anti-kid sidekicks these days.
Mm-hmm.
No. Stop pissing in his mouth.
The thing that's super awkward about this is, and it goes without saying, we've talked about this before, but in getting kind of rid of Amber Heard, this whole thing is about Aquaman raising a kid, and she's going to be strangely absent through most of it. And so, like, it's about them raising a kid together, but she's not going to hardly be in this.
Yeah, I don't
And so they left her in that
remember who
montage
said it.
to like establish her, and there's going to be some scenes she's in and standing there and just not saying anything.
Yeah, Cap, I don't remember if it was you who said it, but
it's
there's
Lobo.
a lot of... That is Lobo. There's a lot of screen time and dialogue with Dolph Lundgren in this movie that's like, oh, that was totally Amber Heard's.
That's what I've always
part,
said.
like,
Is
was meant for Mira.
they took all of her exposition and they gave it to Dolph Lundgren, which is the last person you give that to. Which means Amber Heard was supposed to take Defoe's place, and now Dolph Lundgren has taken Defoe's place.
I mean, to be fair, I'd much rather listen to Dolph Lundgren give exposition than Amber Heard. I think that's fine.
I see this as nothing but a win. Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
If anything, Dolph Lundgren should just be Mira in this movie with like no script changes.
I'm gonna have a hard time not just saying things that we said in the first movie, Austin. Like, look, it's Jango Fett.
He looks really tired.
This does have that Shazam 2 thing, though, where...
Yes, he does.
And I don't even like how the first Aquaman movie looks, but this does look immediately cheaper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, this has a lot in common with Shazam 2.
Well, okay, that's what's weird. What's fascinating about the DCEU as a failure, right? Like, you have 3 of their biggest hits, or at least most liked movies. You got Shazam, you got Wonder Woman, you got Aquaman. At least successful movies, generally speaking. All have sequels that are failures. And all with the same filmmakers and people behind them. And none of them hit the way the first one did.
You know what I can't believe?
Yeah, and I think they're all sequels that like really accentuate issues with the first movie. Like even with people that like them, obviously.
Yes.
And
Even BVS, I had that with to Man of Steel, where like that hurt that movie.
Mm-hmm. But like even with you guys liking Wonder Woman more than I do, I'm sure like even with 2, you can probably see some of that, like where they're leaning into certain aspects that don't work as much in the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are all sequels I can also like delete from my mind and just not acknowledge and go back to.
They all have that episode of a TV show sequel.
Yeah.
And
It's really strange.
even when they're made by the same filmmaker, they feel like somebody else came in and made the cheap sequel.
Well, all three of them are made by the same
Isn't that
director.
crazy? Yeah, I guess they are. And yes, you're right. It is really easy, Robert, to write them off. And if you enjoy the first movies, and I guess with all three of these, I liked them fine initially, right? Like Aquaman, Shazam, and I mean Aquaman again. Not what I would want from an Aquaman movie, but I enjoyed it on the same level Robert did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wonder Woman and Shazam both.
Yeah, they're all just obligatory filler sequels.
Well, I think this movie was also like really heavily reshot too. Where I think originally there was like a whole thing where Black Manta was supposed to be like possessed by like an ancient king, and we cut all ties to that.
Or it's just toned down. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There's a lot of obvious reshoots. And I will say, again, just as a dumb Saturday morning cartoon, I think the Black Manta action sequence in the first one is a lot of fun. And I like the suit, so it's cool getting to see more of him. I just don't like the story we do with this one at all.
No, I like how Power Ranger that movie is. That was my big takeaway when watching it with Austin was, there's so much tokusatsu in this. And like that stuff just visually is fun to me.
Well, and I think that Black Manta sequence stands out just because it's not surrounded by CGI. It's all like on land, and I think it's pretty well shot.
And so now we're finally using this guy, and he's going to be in a lot of this.
Yep.
A lot of it.
Because we have to pay that. Well, it's paying off that after credits scene.
At least he didn't show up in the after credits and say, "Don't like I'm back. We're gonna do something later."
I'm gonna be important later. Austin, can you believe that at no point in the first commentary did either of us say that's a lot of fish?
That is crazy because I say that on a near daily basis.
Maybe you did somewhere. I don't think that ever came up.
I don't think I did say that, but I've definitely said that on videos.
Yeah. I think you might have said that somewhere in this Mania, but not on Aquaman.
I was thinking, I'm like, did I say it in a different Mania? I probably did. That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. What are we doing the commentary on that movie?
Oh, God. Anytime, but it's gonna be a rough one.
I'm gonna get that on the calendar. You guys get ready. Synchronize your watches. We're doing it.
I mean, people would probably love it if we did a commentary on Godzilla '98.
Yeah, do it for the 30th anniversary. Just save it for a few years.
I gotta say, this series has really got me wanting to do more of this kind of thing. Just these fun, laid back, blend commentaries. Just a lot of fun to do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we're in Mickey 17.
You'd think I'd be like never again, but like the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But people have been asking about James Bond for forever, doing some James Bond commentaries on the channel. I think would be fun.
Yeah, that I feel like I'd have to prepare for. I don't know if I could get away with just walking in and watching those and reacting, but maybe. I don't know.
That's what you've asked it for.
Yeah, Cap and I do have a big plan, though. We do have something.
That's true.
Oh, cool.
That's true. We're cooking up something.
We're cooking.
Although I don't think we should.
We have 12% of a plan.
I don't think we should hype it the way we did DCEU Mania, because I don't think it's going to excite people in the same way. So like, we should probably announce that before it happens, like well before it happens.
Well, not to the same degree, but people do ask me like every year about a certain aspect, not exactly what we're doing with it, but like, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna reveal it.
If he goes any more, then he's gonna tell us what it is. We will not hype
Exactly.
it the same way we did DCEU Mania, though.
No,
Oh
that
my
won't
God.
be for a little bit, anyways.
Right. Yeah, that's
Well,
going to be a
and-
little while down the line.
Well, and as Kat predicted, this currently does not have the crowd that the Flash commentary had.
No. It's the thing. I hate doing this at the end because, like, nobody cares. We're just but
It's a beautiful epilogue.
but it's
You could lie and say you did it, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I take your word for it."
should have lied about the movie. we
I
were
remember watching that
to
stream.
get-
I think I was there live.
we should have lied about what we were doing to get people here. That's what we should have done. Oh, I'm so scared.
Oh.
Is this like the other realm?
It's the Lost Kingdom.
Oh,
It's the aforetitled Lost Kingdom, Austin.
Mm.
But yeah, I was just gonna say it's appropriate that we're ending on a stream that no one is showing up for because this franchise ends on a movie nobody cared about, and the last couple. Like, I guess this movie did okay at the box office, but was it China again? Because I mean, like, it really felt like it just
Was this even released in China? I don't even know.
It might not have been.
This felt like it kind of poofed out of existence.
Yeah. Well, because like I feel like post-COVID,
Appeared.
it's been a lot more spotty on like big Hollywood movies that are released in China.
Yeah, it's true. I'll look at the numbers again.
Yeah. Like I
But
know No Way Home doesn't get a Chinese release, which was like crazy for how much money that made.
Mhm. But this did make substantially more money than Black Adam, The Flash, Shazam 2.
The Flash. Yeah, the budget was 205 and the box office was 439, so it at least broke even.
Possibly not with marketing, I guess, but like it got close.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't know.
it might not have been, but it wasn't a horrible failure.
But it at least
No, it
wasn't,
didn't lose like hundreds of millions.
but at least
Yeah.
wasn't break even on the initial budget like Blue Beetle was, because that was just straight up. It matched its initial budget, and that was it.
Yeah, Blue
And for
Beetle
something
did
like that was made for streaming, like that's more money than it would have gotten.
Yeah. Yes.
'Cause
Exactly.
then it just still goes to streaming.
Yeah.
Also,
Does anybody
Blue
subscribe
Beetle
for it?
was
Like, I don't know how that would have made them a dime.
Yeah.
exactly. I don't understand. And Cap, I don't know if you guys talked about this. Blue Beetle came out during the strikes, so they couldn't promote that movie.
That's
And
right.
that definitely hurt it.
That's right, because it was out for a few weeks when
I wish
the
I'd
strike
known that.
ended, and they were like, "Oh yeah, our movie."
I wish I'd remembered
Go
that
see
during
it.
the stream.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That was
that
really
explains it.
unfortunate timing.
Because the assumption I was making, the theory I had was they just decided too late to put it in the theater, and so people didn't really know about it.
Hmm. I completely forgot that was during the strike.
Mhm.
So I went to see Mission Impossible 8 today.
How was that?
This is like an immediate
Yeah.
step down in this water action.
Yeah, that's got to be rough looking at this right after that.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's just
wasn't
funny
having
that
that
they
after
both
Blue
have
Beetle,
like some
'cause-
sort of deep dive sequence. So it's like I'm coming off of like a really cool one.
Mhm. Did you see it in IMAX or did you just see it again?
Just
for fun?
regular theater, yeah. I know one of my grandmothers wanted to see it, and she was like, "Oh, will you take me to go see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
cool.
movie. I'll go see it."
Well, I was so surprised going back to Blue Beetle at how decent it looks that like this is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, the costumes in that movie are so good.
And weirdly enough, if Blue Beetle was like a $200 million movie, that suit probably wouldn't have been as practical as it was. They
Isn't that
probably
right?
used
Good
It
call.
looks better because
CGI.
it's cheaper. That's exactly right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
good call.
Let me read this super chat, guys.
Yeah.
Captain Coon, $10 super chat. If I had a nickel for every comic book character Randall Park
Oh my
is playing-
god,
Wow.
it's the Lich King.
Okay, can I read the super chat?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Captain Coon, $10 super chat. If I had a nickel for every comic character Randall Park has played, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird he played 3 in 5 years. Shin, Jimmy Woo, and Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange too. Oh, that's true.
That's true, yeah.
Did you see John Kelling's response to that?
Identity theft is not a joke, Captain Coon. Millions of families suffer every year. What does that mean?
They're quoting The Office. There's like a whole thing where the main guy in it, that's John Krasinski, pays Randall Park to pretend to be him.
Okay.
So the joke
Yeah.
is he's Mr. Fantastic because that was John Krasinski, and that's
Okay.
what the other
Yeah.
character
Oh, that's the
responds
joke.
with is
Okay.
the identity thief
That's
thing.
right over my head. But
Yeah.
I guess there is maybe a little bit of a possession thing going on. Is 5 months later? What?
yeah,
Why?
we just got a time jump.
Yeah. Because now we're about global warming, pollution.
You know what's? Oh yes.
Oh, like the
you
first
gotta-
one.
all, yeah.
You got to tack on an obvious environmental message on top of this and make it even more blatant. But you know what's
Well,
really-
I don't know if you remember, Cap. We really speechify about that at the end of this movie. Like, oh, that's what that was all about. Okay.
I did not remember that. So you know what? You know what's also like really odd about that? You have the we jump 5 years or 5 years. It's not 5 years. 5 years later.
Months later.
Yeah. So we've established Aquaman's status quo, and he's having that conversation with his father, and I guess that happens simultaneous with the monster action we just had, and then it's 5 months after all of that for both of those things. Like it's not like crazy convenient timing or anything, but it's a little odd.
You know how you know that was added in post production? His baby doesn't look 5 months older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, there's this council that wasn't in the first movie.
They added them once this dude bro became king. They're like, wow, we're gonna need a government now.
Yeah, that's when they set up the Supreme Court.
How's this guy gonna run anything? And like the underwater stuff,
drink beer on Fridays.
the underwater stuff is so much flatter than in the first movie. Like it looks really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, again, I don't really like how the first movie looks either, but this looks so much cheaper.
Yeah. Which again is weird because they spent a long time making this movie. This isn't a rushed out sequel.
And it looks really
It's out like
rushed.
4 years later.
When James Wan made that big deal about how he would only make a sequel if it was like a great script and whatnot.
People need to stop saying that. Even if it's true, just don't say it. Because if everyone's laughing at your movie afterwards, you're going to really wish you hadn't said that. Like, it certainly should engender confidence. But it happens a lot where people say that, and then you look at it and you're like, but it doesn't have a great script, like, by any measure. RJ Godzilla, the Underwater Council of Krypton. Guilty.
98% of Momoa's screen time so far is just holding this baby.
It doesn't have a mom. He's got a...
It's true.
His mom
Mira
got
died
canceled.
on the way home to her planet.
That's what
So
happens
that-
when your mom is Miss Hood.
That is
Not
the-
a bee.
that is like the first production like fumble with this movie. It's like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff is happening while they're making it,
Yeah.
and everyone's on thin ice. Like, do we fire her? Do we recast her? Do we cut her out completely? But
that second
they
thing was
didn't
the
know how that was
correct
gonna pan
choice.
out.
You when you do the reshoots, you recast her and you let Aquaman actually have his wife in the family movie about them raising a baby
Yeah.
together, and you just get a decent actress, and no one will care. In fact, everyone will applaud you for doing that.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of controversy online. I don't remember, or a lot of pushback online, because I don't know if you remember Cat, but at the same time this is going on, Johnny Depp is fired from the Fantastic Beasts movies and recast in the next one, but she gets to stay on. So a lot of people are like, "Hey, what's up with that?" Like,
It was
not
just kind of
but it was
volatile
just
on all
awkward.
sides because
Totally.
you have the people that are like that, and then you have the people that are like, well, you can't fire her. Like that's
Mhm.
this like horrific thing. Just a mess.
Yeah,
Just
if
like The
she-
Flash. Like it's another movie where everything around it's kind of awkward.
So, as always, we're talking over this, but was that not sort of the same scene they had before?
Yes.
Okay.
In
I don't
case
wanna
you
be-
missed it the first
I don't want to
time.
be disingenuous or nothing.
We're somewhere again,
Somewhere. They did it in the first movie.
Royce.
Okay,
In the
great.
not too distant Atlantic.
Doesn't Momoa have a writing credit on this? That's unfortunate if that's true.
That is rough.
Yeah. I like his helmet.
Just let him wear his helmet.
No.
Damn it, Robert. Let him put his helmet on.
If he had his helmet, you wouldn't know who played him, Cap.
I never remember that guy's
You
name
wouldn't
anyway.
know that it's not. You wouldn't know that it's New Morpheus,
It's New Morpheus.
and New Doctor Manhattan, and New Candyman.
Yeah.
He's the new guy.
Wow, this guy's whole career except for Black Manta is riding coattails. But that's not fair because a lot of people have that now. Like all we make are remakes of things.
Randall
Yeah.
Park's costume here looks like, I guess, like a bunch of these people that are operating this. They're wearing the Black Bolt TV show costume.
Oh yeah.
Dan's Den says the whole environmental element of this has major Superman 4: The Quest for Peace energy.
Yeah.
And the
So I guess they
production
do-
is a downgrade like that too, except it costs a lot of money, and it probably didn't cost much less than the first movie.
And it's not going to be as entertaining as Superman 4.
Yeah, a few things are.
No.
Superman 4 is
Exactly.
hilarious.
It's got Ducky Luthor and Nuclear Man.
Ducky Luthor. So this was 205. What did the first Aquaman movie cost to make? The
It's
first
probably
one
around the same.
cost...
Maybe a bit lower, just because it's Aquaman. So
Yeah.
I don't know how sure they were.
It's one of those where we don't know exactly how much it costs. It's somewhere between 160 and 200. So at the top end, it
It's
might have
somewhere.
cost. It might have cost the same.
It's somewhere in the Atlantic. Oh my god, they have their War of the Worlds machines.
Yeah. Kind of like them.
Oh, true, IJ Godzilla. They do also kind of look like Hancock.
They look like Quintessons.
Have you guys
Oh,
seen the?
Quintessons were the villains of this movie. That'd be amazing.
Right before they drop down, they're just like innocent.
And then Momoa's like, guilty or innocent, that's cool, bruh.
I'm gonna go ride on my motorcycle while I'm sticking my tongue out.
The only thing that's guilty is me of drinking this beer, bro.
Are you gonna do that the whole time?
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you guys done the rewind commentary on Hancock yet?
Yes, we have. Austin's voices
Okay.
give me PTSD.
Well, you have to pick one. It's the Ezra Miller voice or the Momoa voice.
I
Like,
could
you
go back
have
to
pick
Ezra
one.
Miller.
Yeah.
No, carry on.
Wait until I do my one-man improv act of Momoa, Miller, and Godot all at a Starbucks.
So far, this movie is long stretches of Aquaman hanging out with his baby, and then boring underwater things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just filling time. I don't know what else the hell.
We are spending more time with Black Manta than we are with Aquaman,
Are we?
which isn't necessarily an issue. I feel like we are. I could be wrong.
Oh,
I think it's just because he's had like a bunch of action so far, while Momoa's just holding the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot that Aquaman's
And drinking a beer,
octopus
bro.
sidekick. I forgot that Aquaman's octopus sidekick in this gets more screen time than Amber Heard. It just gets a cameo in the first one, but here it's like a main character.
Well, she's tied with the seahorse.
Yep.
I didn't know Sarah Jessica Parker was in this. Who did she play?
That's what the recast should have been.
Mira's just suddenly a lot older.
No, they de-age her, you know. John Kelly, by the end of this movie, you can actually see Momoa actively paint his face white, getting ready for Lobo just before the credits roll.
I love that Gunn got that job, like they announced it, and he immediately texted Gunn to be like, "Can I play Lobo?"
Yeah.
John Kelly says Orm is some of the better stuff in the movie. I remember their... We'll see how I feel about it here, but like, I remember their like buddy duo stuff being kind of irritating.
Oh, it's super typical, but I like Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, and I don't in the first movie. I like him normally, but I don't in the first movie. So I'm interested to see how that plays now that he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's not as over the top in this one. I don't know. It's like he's pretty reinvented as a character in this one, and it's totally unearned.
Too.
Like Austin said earlier, this one's just doing the Thor: The Dark World plot because
Yeah, we
sequel
went straight into the Dark World.
So as I say, is all you can do is compare it to that, but like that's the stuff that works in that movie, and Dark World's not.
That's true.
Dark World's not a very good movie, but that stuff's okay. And then here it just feels like it's chasing that. When you're chasing Dark World,
That's what I said before we started. Was Robert and I talking? Yeah. No, and Loki's the best part of that movie.
Mm-hmm. And some of that's reshoots, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of it's done by Whedon. Like, I don't know about directing, but like he comes in and rescripts that, and they cut Malekith's stuff in order to do that.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Like Loki's the highlight of that movie, but at that cost, which is unfortunate.
I do like that the sonar wave stuff is very Super Friends, because that first movie is so cartoony that it's fun we're doing that stuff.
Oh my god, it's Mira.
She just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Nicole Kidman.
She's just out of nowhere. It's weird that that's your introduction for her in this movie. Like, it's a sequel, we've seen her before, but she just turns to the camera. Oh, there she is! All right.
It's fine, because she will also get more screen time than Amber Heard.
Yeah, she gets no fanfare. Why do I always have to do this gag?
I don't know.
People are
like they thought, well, people are going to notice and complain if we just replace Amber Heard's Mira with another character. So let's give her a role. Let's, like, disperse it to, like, 3 or 4 other people throughout this movie.
That's exactly right. How are we already half an hour in it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Nothing's happened.
And I don't mean that like, oh, it's so fast-paced and I'm really into this. I mean, like, once again, like with so many of these, about 5 minutes worth of stuff has happened. Ow, my head!
The Heard bouncing off that like octopus arm was really funny.
And that's how Aquaman's mom died. After we thought she was dead the whole first movie, we got her back, and then she got a concussion and drowned.
Forgot how to breathe underwater and drowns.
Aquaman comes down, he's like, "Wow, remember you're an Atlantean.
You can breathe! Suck some water in, you're gonna be fine." And like Mira is literally an NPC in this movie. She's gonna get like no dialogue. She just looks like a character in a cutscene.
I remember a lot of people thought she was gonna die like at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah. Yes, I walked in thinking they'd do that.
Because they're adapting the story where Black Manta kills the baby, but obviously we're not gonna go that far because this is Dude Bro Aquaman.
No, there's no way it's gonna push any envelopes or try to have that much pathos.
Yeah. I've heard rumors that was originally the plan, was that they were going to kill his baby. I don't know if that was... I have a hard time believing that was actually shot. I also know this movie tested very badly, and that's why they kept reshooting it and tinkering with it.
Yeah, I've heard people say that, but like, I've also heard a lot of just, no, that there was never the case where they were going to kill the baby, which I feel like is more likely.
He comes in, he's like, get away from my wife, and I wanted Black Manta to be like, what wife? You have a wife?
Right. Like, they talk like they have all this history. They just fought each other for 5 seconds.
But also, just she's barely in this movie. It'd be really funny if he showed up and he was like, I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, Aquaman killed his dad and then threw balls in his face in the last movie. And now he's the main villain.
Konnor, this just looks like a video game. Yes. And
yes.
Not an especially good-looking one either. Like, some of the designs for things are fine. It's just it does look rougher than the first movie.
Another happy landing.
Try spinning. That's a neat trick. That's what Batman did in The Flash.
That is true, and it didn't work very well.
No, it didn't.
This is where the fun begins.
We're gonna shoot a spin the entire commentary quoting the prequels.
Might as well.
Oh my god.
I think Aquaman just got a concussion and drowned.
They should have replaced Mira with Watto.
Senior Sticks.
It's a better movie.
Senior Sticks, this is quite a take. It's too bad Kevin Smith didn't direct Aquaman 2.
Ooh.
That would have been fascinating.
He would have cried like the entire time filming it.
Aquaman spends the whole movie just sitting in a diner.
Oh, she's fine. Now she's out of the movie for a while.
They just rubbed some jam on her chest.
Yeah, and this is the thing I was surprised in the theater by that they were even going to leave her alive. I was like, you had a perfect opportunity to get her out of this movie.
She doesn't even look like she's in pain. She can't even be like, eh.
Yeah, try acting. That's a neat trick.
Well, like I said before, that's where it was really easy for me to make peace with this being over and just moving on. Part of the problem, there's just too many problematic or controversial people you had to deal with. You had Amber Heard, you had Jared Leto, you had Ezra Miller. We needed to move on. There are too many.
Affleck was sleepy.
Affleck was done. People are still asking for Affleck to come back, and he's like, "Guys, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I quit."
We had actors that became controversial.
I just want to go home.
We had actors that became controversial after the whole thing too, because of things they said about these productions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking over Lundgren giving pages and pages of exposition, but this is legitimately my favorite stuff in the movie. This was like Shazam 2 for me, in that I was checked out from like the beginning.
Yeah.
But so far, Austin, I think that might be the better movie between them.
Is Shazam 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. The background of the scene just looks like a really close-up image of Steppenwolf in the Snyder Cut with a blue tint.
That's hilarious. Can we get another line?
No.
Okay.
We're never allowed to speak.
To speak to Orm. The fisherman.
Come on.
Arthur, think of the fisherman.
It's still amazing to me that Aquaman with Dolph Lundgren comes out the same year as Creed 2. So
Like a
he's
month
in
apart.
Yeah, he's in both a billion-dollar movie and a movie where he gives like the best performance of his career. Dolph Lundgren will never have as good a year as 2018 ever again.
No, that's true. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit with the first one. So I'm gonna ask a question that you're not supposed to ask with these kinds of movies, but
Oh no.
We had 3 characters in the same room that all come from the same place with 3 completely different accents.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that happens. Like, how does Dolph Lundgren's character sound like this when like Aquaman's mom has a British accent? Like, I don't understand how that happens.
When we did Suicide Squad, Jason was like, "Hey, this is straight up just a song from Guardians." And now we're using it again. I mean, thank God it's not the Pitbull's Africa remix.
Yeah, at least we don't have that.
That's true.
Are these just the songs that are cheap now to license?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like somebody's got a Rolodex of 50?
Yes.
Or
probably just still had it
13?
licensed from Suicide Squad, so they were allowed to just put it in this movie.
Sure, sure. They're just hanging on to that. That hasn't lapsed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
RJ Godzilla, Nicole Kidman looks interesting here. Hey, Brandon and I had a whole conversation about what interesting means.
Now the octopus is pissing in his mouth. What is happening in this movie?
There's a lot of that in this movie, yeah.
Why is that a running joke?
The hallmark of the DCEU is no class.
Yes.
He's still giving exposition, you guys.
Orm is in Mr. Freeze's jail cell from Batman and Robin, but instead of like the freeze thing in the middle of the room, it's just sun.
The scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger is acting his heart out, and it's amazing.
Yes. I have never believed that a man is dying in a movie more than that part where he comes out of that freeze spot.
It's the red contacts.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what movie
He goes
he's
full
in.
Total Recall.
He doesn't know what movie he's in the best possible way.
It's beautiful.
Senior Sticks, why isn't King Shark an Aquaman villain? I've never thought of that.
It's a good question.
King Shark like walks on land.
I think he fights Superboy sometimes for some reason.
That's his first appearance is in Superboy. I know that. I remember it was like really heavily rumored that King Shark would be in this, and I was like, please do not put him in this.
So this is weird. We give Aquaman his blue suit from the comics, like from the 70s or 80s, which I think is kind of cool. But
I forgot all about that.
You'd think so. As a stealth suit, it's like, oh, he'll wear that underwater, right? No, he wears it in the desert, and it makes him invisible. That's what we do with the blue stealth suit. What?
What were you doing, James Wan?
Well, it's not camouflage. It's literal invisibility. It's just blue because it's blue in the comics.
Right.
Come on, Castaway. We're going on an adventure.
I forgot how bad the CGI was on his skinny body.
It looks rough.
Oh no.
That is rough. It'd be really funny if he shaved and he was just a completely different actor now.
That would have been cheaper and would have looked better. Just have Patrick Wilson dub the voice.
Yeah.
He's wearing a fake beard and wig anyway.
You can only see his eyes.
Yeah.
Come on, Topo, quit spitting in my mouth. Or not spitting. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie is wasting my time.
It's trying really hard, though.
To waste our time?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's got big grand set pieces, and there's visual artists that are trying, and like, you got some creatures that look cool. There's just not any substance to this. I don't know.
Bro, it's like totally hot.
And I
Shut
thought a
up,
lot of the
man.
I thought a lot of the comedy was really awkward in that first movie with him and Mira. We're gonna have exactly the same thing with the two
Oh,
of them.
these
Yep.
things look like the mantis things from Attack of the Clones
Oh, that's
They
true.
do.
in the arena.
This actually is feeling in its way like more of a carbon copy of the first one than Shazam 2 did. Like we talked about that,
Mhm.
Austin, where somebody thought that about Shazam 2, and we didn't have that quite as much. But with this, it's like we're just replacing Mira with Orm.
Yeah. Well, and part of the problem with Shazam 2 is it is trying to do something different, advance the story. It also feels like it's trying to be the end of a trilogy where you just skipped a... I don't know if you guys had that, but like with him turning 18 and that whole subplot, I was like, this is really weird to do in your second movie.
I don't have that as much, just in that I feel like it would be the Toy Story thing where 3 then is just more of that, except we actually have
Maybe.
like the ending of it. But yeah,
We
I
talked
actually
about
almost
how-
mentioned Toy Story during that, but I don't think I did.
No, that's a good call. We did talk about how if you had him just as an adult that transformed into Shazam and was both were played by the same actor, you would need a time jump.
Yeah.
You couldn't do 5 months later.
Well, I mean, Aquaman 2 got away with it, so now we're in my favorite place in movies, the desert. I
We're gonna
hate the
bless
desert as a
rains down
setting.
here.
Not just typically. I mean, there are exceptions.
Aladdin?
It's different sometimes when it's animated. I don't know what that is with me.
But live action Aladdin, you're like, oh, the desert.
Shut up, Robert. But no, I have that with the desert, and I have it with specifically army guys in the woods. I hate army guys in the woods.
What about army guys in the desert? Wearing woodland camo. They're in the wrong spot.
It's okay if it's Stargate.
So this is how water works in this movie.
I agree.
RJ Godzilla got to it before any of us could. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, we have to find some way to make our own fun here, okay? We're quoting the prequels, damn it. That's what we're doing.
Around the Orm, a perimeter create.
Okay, I'm going to complain about something that
Go for it.
Yes, have
is
some.
going to seem really nitpicky, but we're using what I thought in the soundtrack, what I thought was Black Manta's theme in a scene that doesn't have Black Manta in it, and I don't like that. Because when Black Manta first shows up, I'm like, oh cool, we're still using that theme, the dun dun dun. We just used it. He's not in this scene. Yeah, we did it. Let's have a beer, brah.
Bro, that was so cool the way you heckin' kicked that guy, bro. I'm gonna have a beer, dude.
Did you just say heckin'?
Oh, they're playing it again.
The way you heckin'?
Why
Oh,
is this becoming immigrant song in Ragnarok?
You're a couple seconds ahead of me.
Oh, yeah, I can pause it for a second.
Yeah, you're like, playing it again, and I was like, oh no, it's about to come back. I was just waiting for it. I was like, here it comes.
Why play it there? You played like 10 seconds of the guitar.
Setup and payoff, Austin.
Oh, okay.
Sure, let's say that.
Sure, yeah. Can you send me the Wikipedia article of setup and payoff?
You guys, I'm
Okay.
struggling right now
Thank you.
to not start like do other things while we're watching this. You know, like even things I've never done before. You know, like knitting or something. Like I'm gonna learn to knit while watching Aquaman 2.
You're gonna knit while you watch your stories?
Yeah.
Did you hear that line, Austin?
No, what did he say?
I'm not gonna say it out loud. We're back to the classness again.
Well, no, you can't do me like that. What did he
Okay,
say?
Robert
Yeah.
gets to say it.
Okay, Robert, what did he say?
I missed the context. It was something about tight buttholes.
Yeah.
He said
Oh.
that. Cap can elaborate.
Yeah, that's what I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the hell it was about. I don't care.
Dude, I've drank so much beer that my butthole's tight, bro.
Why does he sound like Beavis and or Butthead? Like, why is that?
No, he's cooler than he's action Beavis and Butthead.
Also, why are so many scenes in this just someone like explaining what another character has done and then flashing back to that?
Yes.
So that the audience knows.
Robert. Yes.
Yeah.
Senior Sticks, the day
But-
ghost is back. The day ghost has been back for this entire commentary, and you have commented
That's true.
on this commentary.
You're getting called out.
That's a little late in the game. There we're 48 minutes into this. I've read a couple of Senior Sticks.
Like
Comments.
us, though, Cappy's running out of things to say about this movie. Look, we're in the land of the green.
We're
Ancient
somewhere in the
petroleum
oil
refinery.
refinery. Or not the oil
Well,
refinery,
one thing-
some refinery.
Well, one thing I do want to mention, though, in case we get comments about it, it's like, well, why does the crass humor not bother us in the Suicide Squad, but it's bothering us in the Flash or this? It's like, well, A, that's an R-rated movie, and B, it's very specific and consistent with the characters.
And C, it's clever about it, or if it's not, when it's not clever, it just feels in line with those characters and their personalities, right? Like, it is that kind of movie. And also, for the record, I didn't like it the first time I saw it. For that reason. I had to warm up to the vulgarity in that movie. Now, I know you guys didn't have that, but I'm just saying, I am relatively consistent about this. You have to win me over with that stuff. Like,
And if bits like early on when Peacemaker's like, if I had to eat so and so for liberty, I'd say no problem. Like if that joke doesn't land for you, that's fine. But that bit works because of Bloodsport's response to it, where he says, "Well, I think liberty is just your excuse to do whatever you want." Like it's a crass joke, but we're still learning about the characters through
Yeah,
that.
we're-
exchange.
It's
yeah,
saying
we're
something
character
about
building with
Peacemaker and his mindset.
Yeah.
Now we just know that Aquaman is a tight butthole.
Yeah, we're not, and with Flash too, like, we're not using it to forward story or to, progress character or to reveal anything, and that's all good storytelling is.
Well,
every
reveal
detail
in the Flash.
every detail should reveal something. Say that again.
They reveal a lot of Ezra Miller in that movie. to be
That's
fair.
unfortunate. Yes, that's not the kind of revelation I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Although I think the Book of Revelation may have been talking about the Flash in places. I'm not.
Good. Another scene where characters are sitting and explaining stuff.
I also figured the baby would be kidnapped by now.
Oh, that comes later.
That'll happen later.
Oh.
And if memory serves, Robert, don't they not only not kill the baby, but make us think they do for a second? Or am I wrong about that?
There's a fake out.
I think there's a fake out.
Yeah, I figured that was just going to be the first act plot point, but
Nope.
Oh, look, there's new 52 King Shark. There's 2 of them.
Yay! I wish they were in this more. They
I
look
don't
cool.
remember the bubbles in the first movie underwater looking like they just don't even belong in the scene. You know, like
What the hell is the song?
say whatever you want about the
Oh no!
Oh no! Now it's the Star Wars Special
Return of
Edition.
the Jedi scene.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it is the Return of the Jedi scene.
Yeah.
No!
I forgot about this.
Yep.
This was so painful.
Why are
in
we
the theater.
listening to the jizz music from Return of the Jedi?
Well, he said that.
That's what that's
folks.
called.
That came out.
That's what it's called. That's George
That's
Lucas.
what
It's
it's called.
canon.
It's canon, yeah.
Kingfish. We don't have King
we
Shark.
can
We have
s-
Kingfish.
Well, we could talk about
That's a
horse
lot of
semen,
fish.
but jizz music in Star Wars. Come on,
Yeah.
be consistent, Cap.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, and this is the scene where Martin Short plays Jabba the Hutt. I forgot about this.
What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that statement? Because I just heard something really stupid.
it's Jabba the
It's
Hutt
happening right now.
as portrayed by Martin Short.
I think those words are more vulgar than anything else we've said in the last 5 minutes.
I blocked this out.
And you can barely even tell it's him.
Yeah, I didn't know that's who that was when I saw this.
In the theater,
Konnor just
wanted
said
to die.
brand new sentence.
Yeah, no one has ever spoken those words together
Those,
before.
yeah, that combination of words has never been said.
So we
So is he going to
established-
be Bill Murray in Ant-Man Quantumania?
basically?
Somebody
I don't know
had
if you guys are not.
somebody had to animate these hammerhead sharks just doing this. Like, they just stand there, they just do this the whole time.
That's true. Well, they're the...
Oh god.
Oh, stop.
Shut up.
They're the pig guys from Return of the Jedi. We literally just walked into Return of the Jedi.
We did
Underwater. Here's an idea. It's going to be Return of the Jedi, but underwater. I'm just
So we've
waiting.
established that this movie is a mix of the special editions and the prequels. That's where we're at.
I also hate how big this guy's moobs are. We do not need to be like this close to him.
No, that's really unfortunate. You know what Martin Short's gonna. You know what Martin Short's gonna say at the end of the scene? He's gonna tell them they have to go to the planet orb.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yep.
This is a combination of those two scenes, right?
Mm-hmm. Cap's not gonna get this reference, but Austin's like, I just watched Haley Atwell's boobs underwater today, and this is a step down.
No, there's a really funny shot in Mission Impossible 8. Huh?
Yeah, he's got a helmet.
He's Minion from Megamind.
Austin explained. I'm glad. I knew you'd appreciate that.
No, that's great. No, there's a really funny scene in Mission Impossible 8 where you have like Tom Cruise's head is like this part of the frame. It's taking up this much, and the rest is just Haley Atwell's boobs. And I saw it in IMAX the first time. I was like, whoa. And she's giving him CPR, so when that's like the main center focus of the shot, it was like, whoa.
You're lucky. Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
are.
this is a scene that's like he's possessed. Alright, so him being possessed is
It
in
is
this
there. Yeah, he's
movie,
possessed
but-
by the Green Knight.
Yeah.
That is weird. Like, why is he possessed
It
when he's
it
the main
adds
villain?
nothing.
Well, for some reason, I thought they reshot it to remove that aspect, but maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could go either way. Like, either that was a bigger part of the movie just trimmed down, or it's something added in post. It could be either. I got nothing.
I can tell you they made it. Devil's
Can you?
Deep.
Somewhere
No.
in Devil's Deep. I'm gonna add somewhere to all of these now.
Somewhere in the lighthouse. We got back to Aquaman's house.
Yeah, it's like a really specific place. That's
Yeah,
like
it's a really
very
specific
small.
spot.
Somewhere in the Batcave.
Master Bruce, I'm lost again. I'm somewhere in the Batcave.
If you see towels, you're probably in the linen closet again.
This is the thing that turns good men lost, Master Bruce.
He's shooting everywhere. He's got his gun.
I'm gonna be killed.
Why do we fall, Master Bruce? So we can find true magnetic north.
I think I remember liking Patrick Wilson in this movie just because he's like the only straight man with any dignity, except for this scene.
And even then, there are places where they make him do dumb comedy.
Like this.
Stranger in a Strange Land. It's hilarious when you're just in the jungle.
Yeah, this is the setup for that scene, Austin scene.
The best way to end this world, yeah.
It's just so bizarre they came back to this.
Yeah.
I buy his performance, though. He's digging that. Ew. Oil came out of that coconut.
Yeah, that was a really
This is
over the top, like not ripe coconut, rotten coconut. I don't think that's what
This
that
is-
looks like, even if it's rotten. I don't know.
Yeah. This is like what we were talking about on The Flash, where it's like, I can see the money on screen, like it looks expensive.
Look, there's a butterfly from Peacemaker, Robert. Oh no, it's giant. It's like a Mothra.
They just showed up in Giant World from Mario 3.
Yep.
Skull Island.
Oh my goodness.
Austin, are you
Oh.
impressed with how they look like they're really there right now?
I'm never impressed.
It sure looks like they're standing right in front of all those things.
It does.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
This is canonically correct Mothra. She did die immediately. From now on, though, I'm going to start saying canonically. Well, let me tell you about this. This is canonically right. Let me tell you what.
Cap, one thing I was talking with Austin about earlier is, Cap, did you ever watch that Aquaman King of Atlantis cartoon?
No, it
That was on
looks
HBO Max.
dreadful.
That was tied in. Yeah, so that existed for 3 episodes and is one of the things that was deleted from HBO
It
Max
was
like a year
Zaslaved
later.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just gone now. I never watched it.
Exactly.
Orm can run
6
faster
people
by doing
don't know
this.
what that was like. Why doesn't anybody know how to run in these movies?
It's a
Yep.
consistent theme.
Why is this in our Aquaman movie? So much money wasted.
Stop
Also, what is
asking
going on with the
questions,
score
Robert.
right now? Bum, bum, bum. I Austin, I want to go back to every dumb over-the-top action scene I don't like in the DCEU and just add in the Avengers theme. Bum, 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 bum!
Like 2 scenes ago, the main song they were going for. Oh my god!
Yeah.
At the last Black Manta scene, where he was talking to Randall Park, it was just over and over again.
Doesn't that build
Thank
suspense,
you, Hans
though?
Zimmer.
Bum, 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 bum!
I couldn't even remember offhand that was Avengers when I did it. I was like, that's something, but I don't remember what it is.
That's hilarious. So I've never said this before, Robert. This scene feels like it was written in anticipation of a Lego game.
Oh, good call.
That's why there's always 2 people in any given scene.
Yeah, he's got to stand there, and he's got to...
Look, the puzzle solver.
He's got to figure out the puzzle, and he's got to drop the statue between the things, and then they can run across it. It's in anticipation of the Lego game, which never was made.
The first movie always has at least 2 people, and they're solving puzzles. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe one was like, we're gonna make Lego Aquaman.
And Warner
Always
Brothers
2 there are. No
made
more, no
those
less.
games.
I just fell into the gorge from Skull Island.
Those were Warner Brothers licensed games.
Yep, that is true.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun. I don't know what else we're supposed to do right now.
Oh no, he's building more helmets.
He's got so many helmets.
He's already up to Mark 42 Black Manta.
You know, Black Manta's so scary, he puts the hell in helmet.
Oh. You just got a double O.
Hey, what if that's what I was going for?
There you go. You got it. You got it, Busta. Now Randall Park has the power.
Oh no.
I think we should play some
warming.
Linkin Park whenever Randall Park is on screen.
Because in the end, it doesn't even matter. Just like the DCEU.
In the end, perfect. Because my joke was stupid until you fixed it, and I'm very happy that happened.
I mean, I do think that we're all very numb and asking what we've done.
Austin puts the hell in helmet. So now he's not being possessed, or is the possessing spirit like
He did just say avenge,
pushing
so
him
that thing should
forward?
kick in right now.
With how he's playing this and the way he was like, I will, I'm like, I feel like he's about to go full Ben Stiller in Dodgeball and be like, I will rock him. This movie sucks.
But Robert, I'm just not remembering this plot super well. Like, he's back to his revenge motive from his father's death, but he was being possessed before. So, like, is the idea that the possessing spirit is just like pushing him with his own motivations, or is it like actually full on controlling him?
Maybe the ghost also just wants revenge on Atlantis.
I love how when I ask Robert a question he doesn't care about, his response is just yes. Like, I'll give him 2 options.
Yeah.
And he's
That
like,
is correct.
He's just did it again. It's either dismissive or passive aggressive. I don't know which.
Meanwhile, in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland,
You're saying that Robert has resting bitch answer?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Nicholas Bodo, hey Cap, didn't you compare this movie to Ghostbusters 2? Didn't I? Oh, you know what? With a baby, I bet I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's your, especially with a lot of 80s and 90s things, but we continue to do it. Like, a real easy go-to with a sequel is put a baby in danger.
Well, we keep thinking of Ghostbusters during these movies. This isn't the first place where we're saying that.
Yeah, what's another one? I forget.
Suicide Squad had that.
Oh yes, because the villain stuff in the third act, and then there were terror dogs in Shazam. That was a place.
Yeah, I think we said it with Shazam as well. I think there's something else too.
We just can't get away from Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, they killed the Cyclops from the SpongeBob movie. Who was that guy?
Austin,
This guy.
Aquaman is literally saying things like the stuff you were over the top making fun of him for earlier. Like you missed it, but he was like we should go get tacos and tequila. Like
No, earlier he was like, "Oh, I just want to eat some fries, bro."
wait, did he actually say
do
that?
remember-
Yeah, because that was when they ate the cockroach. Orm was like, "Your food sounds gross," and he was like, "Dude, you should eat this bug."
This set is going to Indiana Jones really hard, and we talked about Indiana Jones some of the first movie, but this is especially trying to do that stuff.
Yeah, and some of these sets are impressive. There's just so
Yeah.
much CGI in the background, you kind of don't notice, or
And I just don't care about the story, so I'm having a hard
Yeah.
time appreciating any design stuff. Even
We're
if some of
also
it on its
not-
own is kind of cool.
we're also very inconsistent with like how super strong they're supposed to be, because sometimes they're just fighting guys like it's a normal
Mhm.
action movie, and sometimes they could knock statues over.
Captain Coon, I remember
Like
this
man
level in
hit statues with his head.
They should be decapitated when they're getting punched in the face.
Captain Coon says, I remember this level in Arkham Asylum. There's so much video game in this. Okay, great. Great comment, man. This movie has the attitude of crap. Now we have to make another one. It really does.
Yes.
Randall Park, you have a Splatoon gun or whatever. Like, what do you think you can? Oh, okay, you're already giving up.
Well, in the end, it
that was
doesn't
just an
really
axe.
matter.
Oh,
This is my motivation. I shall now spell it out for you.
Oh.
if you wanted to be taken seriously as a scientist and see Atlantis, why did you make a giant death mech suit?
Well, that's how you get clout in the DC universe, Austin.
That's fair.
What? Huh?
No.
Fine. Jason Momoa is as done with this movie as I am.
You can see the thoughts of Lobo flowing through his head.
Oh
If I
no.
just get through this, someday I'll get to play a character I'm appropriate for.
The explosion looked so bad.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Yeah.
Aquaman doesn't understand the physics of how
Okay.
his toes hurt.
To be fair to the writing in this, though, people exploding through a door happened like 8,000 times in the first movie, so I can buy that
Yeah.
Yes.
he hates when that happens.
No, that's fair. It just played like a scene in Justice League.
Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't funny. But at the same time, that is a weird thing they keep doing.
Robert, the thing I'm having with this is sometimes cool set design but still looking really cheap to me. And I,
Yeah, like, this
or
looks
maybe even
big.
cheap isn't the right word. It's more just fake, right? Like I don't feel like I'm there with this stuff. Like even when it's practical sets, I'm just seeing the filmmaking in it. I'm just on a set. I don't know.
Yeah, like you go back to something like the first Pirates of the
I don't know if it's just
Caribbean
how it's
movie, and
shot or
I have to remind
you
myself
guys
that we're on a soundstage.
gigantic Doc Ock is coming. Did you see those arms?
Hello, Peter.
I'm sorry, Robert. What were you saying?
It's like you look at like the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I have to remind myself we're on a soundstage during that climax. It looks like a real cave to me. Like, it's obviously not, but it looks authentic.
Well, the effects in those movies are so good.
Mhm.
RJ Godzilla says the word I'm looking for is cartoony. Well, I said that about the first movie, and I was more
Yeah.
okay with it there. There's just more of an inconsistent thing happening here. I'm having a hard time articulating it. It's just like I said, I'm not taken out. I was never in it. Tobin's back, $2 super chat. The DCEU may have sucked, but this Mania didn't. Oh, thanks, man. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to us. We appreciate that.
This movie sucks, but you don't.
You know, I was
Well, what he
struggling to
technically said is
feel
that the Mania
anything
does.
through this commentary until just now.
To be clear, Austin, he said the Mania didn't suck. He didn't say if we as individuals suck
That's
or
true.
don't suck.
You guys can choose to tell whatever story about that you want to yourselves.
Mm-hmm. I see. I guess I'm just more glass half full, while Robert is very. No, the glass is actually empty.
Robert, your line is yes.
Yes.
Oh no. I mean, yay.
That has become my favorite Robert thing.
Thank.
RJ Godzilla Arthur, I think it's time to call Superman.
Yeah.
This looks like a job for somebody else.
This looks
As a Ghostbuster once said.
This looks like a job for Torso Man. He just shows up and all you see is his midsection.
There's heat vision coming like down from off camera.
Yeah, that's Superman's cameo is just his heat vision.
They should have done that with Mira.
They had
And it would still just be the same actress, though. They just don't tell her that they're only shooting her here down.
They already had an opportunity to kill her. They didn't take it.
Oh my god, it's that guy who got embarrassingly beaten in the last movie. He's so scary.
He's gonna fight us without the power suit? Yeah, doesn't that suck?
Well, he
Oh,
has
he's got his
evil
helmet.
Trident now.
Oh.
Bom, 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 bom. Yeah, now you can play the music. Dun, 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 dun. Hilarious.
That's not even. That joke has happened 3 times in this scene.
Not in the
Yeah.
movie, the scene.
No, the scene. It happened once with Aquaman and twice with Orm.
Okay, great. Says, quick, throw balls at him again.
Exactly, just hit him with balls. It's his one weakness. Are they gonna do the, they're gonna cross the streams like in Iron Man 2?
Also, the shocking twist would be if he shot balls into the balls.
Or they're gonna cross the balls?
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's becoming the Hulk.
He just did the Black Adam thing. Did you see that?
Yep.
The,
It's
like,
beautiful.
obnoxious open face, like ah.
No,
not-
Patrick Wilson's dead.
Not Orm.
He's just gonna go get laid next to Mira and be like, I'm fine.
He had so many more bugs to eat. He was taken too soon.
He got turned into a jack-o'-lantern. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is he literally going to kidnap the baby in the last 3 minutes of this movie? Like, it feels like we're already in the climax. I thought that was the main plot. That was the one thing I knew going in.
We haven't even done that yet. Well, and he's holding that baby for a weird amount of time at the beginning to have not talked about it or anything since then.
Well,
No,
his
why is
dad's
that not
watching
the
it.
main plot?
Sorry, what, Robert?
His dad's babysitting.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I wouldn't let Django Fett babysit.
No, I mean, you know what happens to his kid? And then Jango Fett's like, that's fine, I have many clones.
we're gonna cut back to the baby holding his severed head.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my goodness.
Get over here.
Dude, that line is actually said in Blue Beetle.
Hmm.
I didn't
That is
remember
crazy.
that. That was pretty funny.
A lot of Mortal Kombat and DC stuff.
It was weird because we keep complaining about stuff looking like Injustice, and then I got to that movie, and there was a lot of Mortal Kombat and Injustice, but I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a Black Adam shot.
Yes, it was.
That was a CGI.
Oh my
take.
god, that looks terrible.
I think Aquaman just got another concussion and drowned.
Yeah.
How is there still 40 minutes of this movie left?
Yeah, what's left to do? We gotta put the baby in the microwave, I guess.
Oh my god.
What is
Superman.
the plot?
Yeah, what is the plot?
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
no.
Amber Heard. No.
Like a
Leave it
phoenix, she rises again.
He
Oh,
just
and then we
got-
cut away before she says anything.
He just got rescued by his drowned wife. And then, she doesn't get to say anything. And she's going to be standing in the scene and not talk. And it's amazing. I'm pretty sure that's
Yep.
right.
Oh, they brought back Gimli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, she's just there. And you can tell they're cutting around stuff that she actually originally had to do. Like, she used to be in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they just cut out everything she says. And then I'm pretty sure they give it all to Dolph Lundgren.
Yep.
No, she looks like a kid that's stuck while the adults are talking, and she doesn't care.
She just saved
They're
Aquaman's
talking
life.
about doing
Now
their
she's at
taxes
the
or
friggin'.
something.
She just saved Aquaman's life. Now she's at the friggin' kids' table.
She's like slightly off frame here, like there's her arm. She's in the scene.
Look, Gary, there I am. Look, there I am again.
It's the opposite of the awkward Carrie Fisher thing in
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker. It's
Rise of Skywalker,
it's the
yeah.
flip of that. It's like, we got to figure out how to get her in here, and this is, we got to figure out how to get her out of here.
I'm pretty sure in that last shot they just cropped it, like, and she was supposed to be in that shot. Oh, there she is again. She's very intrigued by what he's saying.
More exposition.
Yeah, except
About uniting the Seven. He straight up said the United Seven.
yeah,
They did it.
I remember that in the theater
We
going,
got
that's
there.
crazy. But what's funny, Austin, is when she's actually filming that scene, she's waiting for her turn to speak, remembering lines that we'll never hear her say. We're doing it again. It's
where is Defoe? He should be explaining this.
It's more voiceover flashing back. Like, it feels like there's as much of this as actual scenes.
Yeah, I think we talked over it, but I think Defoe's character's just killed off screen.
Yeah.
I think he just dies between movies. It's
so
he's
weird.
Dead? I think so.
I came into this not in the theater, not remembering if he died in the first movie, and then going back to it, I was like, no, he doesn't die. Why is he not in the second one?
Oh my god! Now we're in the scene where the Conehead died in episode 3 on that bridge.
Yep.
Do you guys think when Patrick Wilson was a little bit younger, he might not have been a bad Oliver Queen?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Seeing him blonde.
I mean, I kind of see Ollie is a bit older. Like, he could maybe still do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, maybe so.
When people were saying Ewan McGregor for Hal Jordan, I was like, I feel like he'd be a better Green Arrow than Hal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe so.
Nicole Kidman turned like, who gave you permission to speak?
Don't step on my lines. We just zoomed in on her. She's not going to get a line. The most entertaining thing about this is editing around Amber Heard. It's amazing.
It's also, I just remembered this. It's weird that his parents have like no screen time together up to this point when like a big part of the first movie is them reuniting at the end. And Nicole Kidman's like, nah, I don't want to hang out with your dad. I left him for a reason.
Oh.
Wow, that's kind of messed up.
It's like, what? Never together in this movie.
It's like, I hate Django Fett. You know what happened between this and that, like the first one, Robert? A Book of Boba Fett came out. That was when she was like...
This is another trope
Disney Plus
we do constantly, where the hero finally puts together what the villain is after seconds before he goes and does the horrible thing.
Yeah. Well, Black Manta has had like this entire movie.
Black Manta wants to be Black Manta wants his name in lights, a big monument with his name written on it.
No.
How does anybody take any of this seriously?
Why did we start dropping frames on that shot?
No!
That's Cap's.
They didn't even kill Django Fett.
This movie feels like it was edited 10 years after it was shot and no one could remember what movie they were trying to make.
I'm imagining them like waiting to see how the Amber Heard Johnny Depp verdict plays out, and it's like that scene in Superman Returns where they have like the two newspapers. It's like the Amber Heard cut and the not Amber Heard cut, and they just put both together.
And then what we should do is go back in at the verdict, that trial, and then edit in her in this movie going, no!
His mom is saying, "Bring our little one back," and the child's actual mom is just standing in the background.
Doesn't get to say anything.
We need to have more movies, though, where Dolph Lundgren yells Antarctica because he can barely pronounce it. Antarctica.
RJ Godzilla, man, Captain Planet must be pissed.
I think Mira's also just having like the worst case of postpartum depression. She's just like, not. I don't want to be around this baby. I'm kind of glad he was taken. Yeah, it's a metaphor. This movie's smart.
Yeah, my read is she's too unmotivated from postpartum depression to speak, so she's like, I'll save my husband, but that's it.
I think you're getting in the way of the healing, Nicole Kidman. Is this your version of pulling the plug? Hi, John Rhys Davies.
Could you say Sonic Cannon again? Because it was hilarious.
To overwhelm a force.
Aquaman's wife gets as many lines in this movie as Bob the Goon.
I think she also has more lines of dialogue in this than Superman and BVS.
That's true. Superman Returns.
Was he also really monosyllabic in that? I haven't seen that in like probably over a decade.
That was one of my biggest complaints with that. And then we got to Man of Steel, and I was like, "Are you serious? We just did that again? He just doesn't get to freaking say anything."
There's a lot of scenes in Superman Returns of him just staring at something.
He I guess like when I think about that movie, it's like him walking in when they shoot his eye, or like flying around stalking folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Routh was cast to like look like Christopher Reeve and model the Superman.
Nothing else.
And that's nothing against him as an actor. That's just the fact. That's what he was.
No, that's absolutely a fact. That's not a criticism of his acting in it.
I agree, RJ Godzilla. Bob the Goon is more likable than Mira. He's got more drive.
Mira Gunn.
Bob is a better partner than Mira is a mother in this movie, and I can stand by that.
He's a better goon than she is a mom, you mean?
We should get to the end of this, and Aquaman's like, Mira Gunn. You know, I feel like there's some kind of commentary happening here, but I just can't put my finger on it, Robert.
Remember, we had the Codex in Man of Steel, and now we have the Cordex in this. Yeah. What are we doing?
What are we
Does
doing?
this woman have a name? She's in this movie like a weirdly large amount of time, but I don't know who she is.
I want to say she's like just a random name from the comics. Like one of those, like, oh, she's this character in name only. I'm not.
I just wondered because she was the one that was piloting the octopus machine earlier. She was piloting their ship earlier.
Well, that thing is crazy.
His controls look like an arcade cabinet.
Yes, they do. I was going to say that earlier. Also, why is there so much kryptonite in this Aquaman movie?
RJ Godzilla says her name is Woman the Goon.
Oh.
She's actually Stingray, but
that's my favorite.
I prefer that other one.
Stingray the Goon.
This looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the seahorse.
There's the seahorse.
That looks like a recycled shot from the first movie.
It does.
And one of the things that made me really happy in the first one was getting the giant seahorse. I didn't know we'd get that. Like when I was a kid, I watched like the old '60s Aquaman cartoon.
Again, that over-the-top like cartoony stuff, I was really happy to see with that first movie, and it's fun that we do some of that here. But I just don't care about the story.
I do feel like neither of these movies, and Justice League as well, do that much with him being able to control fish. This is kind of the first time we're really doing anything with it.
It's like that's like the Deus Ex Machina of the first movie, and then in this one we forget he has that power for like 2/3 of it.
Yeah, when he finally does it, it makes you look back at the rest of the movie and go, when else might have this come in handy?
But he's on land most of the time in this movie.
Well, that's true.
The same with the
What
first
are we
one.
doing? Yeah.
Well, it's because it would be even more expensive to have him underwater constantly.
Oh, it should be like, oh no, this villain is on land, Aquaman, but luckily he's right next to that river, and then he can have fish jump out of the river and attack them. It definitely shouldn't have this much desert stuff in your
somewhere
Aquaman
in
duology.
Necris, the Lost Kingdom.
Yep.
Somewhere. Nicholas Bodo, would this movie be better if Black Manta killed the baby? I mean, I feel like you would have to rewrite the thing so that it's a little bit more sober from the start. Like, it's so farcical that at the point you do that, I like, it wouldn't be exactly like the next snap in Man of Steel, but it would be a little bit like that, where you're like, you got to rewrite the movie to match it.
Yeah, that's why I don't buy that there is a cut of this movie where he does kill the baby. I just can't see a world in which like 40% of the middle of this movie is just Aquaman being a dude bro with Orm in a jungle, then being like, oh, now we killed our baby.
Yeah, I don't see it either. What if the twist is Kordax was the Codex?
Oh my god. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about too on some of these later ones. It's like, God, like just all the MacGuffin plots in these movies get so exhausting.
Yep.
We keep doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Even Shazam 2 has that, I think.
It does.
Well, it has the same MacGuffin as the first one.
Oh, the staff, right? Yeah.
With the staff. But then I guess they also have the golden apple that you were supposed to think was a blue apple, but the twist was it was golden.
And then which movie had the crown? Was that the first Aquaman?
Black Adam.
No, Black Adam had the crown.
Oh, Black Adam was the crown.
Didn't he say spineless worms in the first movie?
Yes.
Maybe,
might
I
be
don't
wrong about
remember.
that.
He has like 2 lines of dialogue in the first one. At least getting more to do here, I guess.
And yeah, writer's right. Wonder Woman 2 also has it.
He's got some of Amber Heard's dialogue.
But yeah,
wish.
writer's right that Wonder Woman 2 also has a MacGuffin. It's like a lot of the later ones do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what movies in this world don't have MacGuffins? Like BVS doesn't have one.
Man of Steel does because Superman is his own MacGuffin.
He's his own MacGuffin. I don't think Blue Beetle does, but I haven't seen it since the theater. So, I guess it's the Scarab.
I just watched it a minute ago. Yeah, I guess that. Yes,
so it'd be the Scarab.
It's
the
more
Suicide
okay
Squad
when
doesn't.
Everyone's after the costume that is like the main thing. Like,
well,
that's more
having
okay
a MacGuffin's not an inherent issue. Like that's not. No, that's not what I'm getting at.
Right.
But when you have like this and Black Adam so close together, it's like it's this evil thing the bad guy wants that'll make them more evil and powerful. Like it gets so exhausting.
Well, it's just
so many of these are generic.
Yeah,
I guess the first Wonder Woman doesn't have a MacGuffin.
It feels like an excuse.
It's really only those 3.
It feels like an excuse to not actually come up with a story.
Yeah. Bad guy wants bad guy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing the low frame rate?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Slow-mo all of a sudden.
I don't know. Is that just all we're gonna get of Aquaman fighting that creature that we set up at the beginning?
Wait, is that? No, that's Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, that is Dolph Lundgren.
That's not Aquaman.
Wait a minute. Yeah. He looks so much like his mother from behind. I wasn't sure.
I guess Birds of Prey doesn't have one.
No, it does. It has the diamond.
It does. It has the diamond.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember what happens in that crappy movie.
It's just that she ate the MacGuffin, so she
That's
has
right.
to poop it out.
That's right. Because classy.
Like how Superman has to poop out
The Codex, exactly.
Codex, yeah.
And like how Aquaman or someone in his bloodline has to poop out their blood.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I think it's really just those three. I think it's just the Suicide Squad. No, I guess Blue Beetle again. It's the Scarab and Wonder
so
Woman.
it's like 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
What, with the MacGuffin thing?
Yeah.
We're saying that don't have them.
This. Oh, that
Yeah, I'm
don't
saying
have
that
them.
don't
Okay,
have
okay,
it.
okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I think it might just be the Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
And BVS.
Oh my gosh.
This really is Ghostbusters too.
Yeah. RJ Godzilla just said, and now we're watching Ghostbusters too. And then he deleted his comment.
And then he deleted it. I wish I was watching Ghostbusters too. I love that movie.
Well, I was going to say right about now you'd have the Statue of Liberty walking, but I think right about now the movie would already be over.
Yep. You know who they needed to make the head of DC during all of this? Is Janos from Ghostbusters
Yes!
2. Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.
That's awesome. Ah! You gotta love these one-liners.
Good one, Aquaman. Oh, this looks terrible.
He just looked like he punched a Halloween costume. Like just the way it connected.
No, that was just the Mortal Kombat like clash, but we like zoomed out.
Yeah.
Or not Mortal Kombat. I guess that's in Injustice.
It would have been really funny if we'd actually full on done the clash, Austin. Like they like get tied up with each other. They zoom in,
that's what I'm saying.
and then one of them says a thing, and the other one says a thing, and then they just fall. And then this looks like another Injustice fight.
Well,
you zoom in on them, and it's like, get away from my boy. Your blood will do just fine.
Yeah.
Come get some.
You're right. That just already is that, isn't it?
yeah. Well, it really annoyed me that we gave Black Manta an evil trident just so we could do the same climax as the first movie. Like, it's the same fight.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you could recreate this if you want to, because Black Manta is in Injustice.
Yep.
He's really fun.
He is half the man he used to be.
And then Mira saves him. I did something.
Miss not appearing in this movie did something.
She is the literal personification of a plot device.
This is the first time she's had a scene with the baby.
Well, she screamed about it getting kidnapped, so she was standing there when it was in the house for a minute, but she didn't get anywhere close to it. Hey, I like Injustice, Captain Coon. You stop all your Injustice slander. I won't stand for this. I'm going to play Injustice tomorrow now, just to spite you, Captain Coon.
It's a fun game. I wish they made a third one.
No, you don't have to like things. Me too.
I don't. I would rather them just make like a different DC fighter, but I would like to see them make a DC fighter again.
Well, sure, I'd be fine if it was a different thing, but I like that
Yeah.
system, and I would like something else in that system.
Is this going to be where James Wan
Dun,
shoves
dun,
in The
dun.
Shining? Because he does it constantly throughout his work.
Oh, see, he's cool because he doesn't look at the bad guy.
It's true.
He doesn't even look at him when he
Bro,
slaps him.
remember when I hit you with balls?
The snow looks so real.
It does.
This is weird.
We are doing the Shining thing again. He's even kind of limping towards them. James Wan,
Yeah.
do literally anything else. You've made like 6 movies that do this.
I need you to regularly remind me that this is the same director.
Hmm.
It really feels like somebody else came in, and like I know you don't like him in the first place, but it's it's very strange how this feels like it was passed off to some other workman director.
You know, he didn't have to get that blood from Aquaman. He possessed one of the people in the bloodline. He could have just walked up and just cut his hand open.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was another thing that disappointed me. I thought we'd probably cut off Aquaman's hand in this one, given the harpoon arm. Couldn't even get that.
I wondered if we'd do that. That actually could have been a cool moment. Like maybe he's fighting Black Manta still, and almost like the Ghostbusters 2 thing, right? Where like Orm turns around and now he's possessed, but he like drops his blood on it.
Mm-hmm. Yay, a light show.
And this guy in the background, the Green Knight, he also just looks like the bad guy of the Flash.
Oh yeah, sure.
Just
And
green
also
color swapped.
And also,
And
this
this
is
is
a lot like the Flash with the like images in the vortex.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what's nice about the Suicide Squad is that movie doesn't end on two people yelling at each other on a green screen, which a lot of these do for their climax.
That is true.
Gareth,
Jareth asks
Gerhard,
who our main and
mine is also Black Canary. Jareth, Black Canary for the win! Yay!
mine is Swamp Thing and Blue Beetle. Oh, and Hellboy once they added him. He's probably my main.
I think my main was Robin in Injustice 2. I really like playing that game.
I'm also really good as Batman, but I don't tend to think of him as my main.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
he's
Black
like the
Canary's
only
great.
character I can be at Black Canary when Cap's playing him. They're playing her. It's like Black Canary can beat anyone, but then Batman's my trump for that.
That's because I have a level 20 Black Canary. And Austin is overall a little better at that game than I am, so I like to play as Black Canary a lot.
I think Scarecrow I also played as quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Scarecrow's a lot of fun in that. A fun trivia question about the channel is the first thing Austin came on for was in Injustice 2.
That is true.
Playthrough.
Crazy. I didn't know that.
It's Cap, Brandon, and I.
I forgot Brandon was there.
Yep. And then Sarah pops in for a little bit. Because Sarah and I have to fight because you couldn't do the two of you fighting, which is what you wanted, because of the online thing. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like way softer, so you can like, notice that I'm just kind of standing around most of the fight."
I also can't believe we got her to do that because she hates fighting games. So I'm not sure why she played that with us. She doesn't usually.
Yeah, I
do
think
that.
she just popped in for like a round.
Yeah, that's very unlike her. Like I don't even understand that.
I was kicking your ass so hard she had to come in to defend you.
Well, that was nice of her. Or maybe it was kind of condescending. I'm not sure.
And then I felt
Thanks,
bad to
Sarah.
beat her up, so I was like,
The first time you come on the channel, you're beating my wife up.
exactly. I was like, "Oh, that's not a good look." So I only beat her up a little bit.
Nicholas Photo, did you force Sarah to do it? I don't remember that. I mean, no, but I don't remember this, so I'm not sure why she did it.
I think she just like popped in, and you were like, "Hey, do you want to play a match?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And because of the online thing, you were like, "Oh, well, you're gonna have to fight Austin instead."
Usually
that sucks.
she would say no. Like I don't think she's ever played that otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
The only fighting game I can
Give
ever
me
get
your
her to
other
play
hand,
is-
honey. I can't hold you.
The only fighting game I can ever
No.
get her to play is Soul Calibur.
I really regret this.
He fell in the
Yeah.
Superman Jesus pose.
He did.
I just wanted him to disappear out of the shot like in Ninja Turtles 3.
He just
Yeah.
implodes.
Yeah, I'm surprised we never got like a John Constantine or Lobo. Like there are a few big ones we never got in either Injustice game.
Oh, I thought you were
It's
going to say in the
Constantine's
DCEU.
weird. We never got him in Injustice.
That would have been great.
Look, she's doing something.
She got to say,
She's holding her baby for the first time.
she got to say,
Ever.
hurry.
She finally
It's
got
really
over her
emotional.
postpartum depression. It was her arc. That's actually really heckin' sweet.
You know what's kind of a feat, you guys? That this movie is still over 2 hours and all of her stuff is cut.
Yeah.
That's why they had to add those couple of slow moments. They had to make up for it. Oh yeah, true, Captain Coon. Lobo is an Injustice
See,
one.
look.
He's a DLC character.
The
Oh, that's
seahorse
right, yeah,
looked fine there, but awful at the beginning. I don't understand that.
My love.
I've been so checked out with this. I for about 5 minutes forgot we were watching a movie.
If I remember, this scene looked real, like 50-50. Oh, this is what they originally shot, and oh, this is green screen reshoots. It looks like a blend.
That was a reshoot. We'll just do this now. We'll just point and be like, that was probably a reshoot.
Astounding.
Dagon Spear, my assumption was that there was a cut where Arthur's dad dies and maybe Orm dies, and that was changed to make it more of a happy ending. I guess that both of those are plausible.
Yeah.
It is weird they didn't kill his dad there.
And then if they made a third one, they would just say he was killed off screen, like Defoe.
Yep.
Now every time she does say anything, I'm like, you've not been a character in this movie.
This looks rough.
Dolph Lundgren. Wow, what a twist. I mean, I guess it's a fun idea on paper to get them to this place in their relationship by the end of this.
This is very like Magneto in the last few X-Men movies.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And it's nice in contrast to Thor, because like there would be no chance for Loki and Thor to ever get to this place.
Yeah, because the closest we would get is just Ragnarok, I guess, but then he immediately dies after.
Yeah. And like the end of Dark World is the exact opposite of this, where like both of the brothers get the throne at the end, but like this one is legitimate, and Aquaman wants that, and Loki steals it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a really great cliffhanger, and that definitely went somewhere.
Yeah.
Although Orm with his costume here does kind of remind me of Shark Boy. And then Mira's got the lava girl look too. That's unfortunate.
And then this last scene is definitely a reshoot. Where we do the Iron Man ending for some reason.
Except it's way better because he's like, "That's right, I am Aquaman." Woo! Ha ha! And then Born to Be Wild starts playing,
Yeah.
and he's on just an awful green screen, like you said.
Why are we in New York?
Or that song they keep playing 10 seconds of.
Why is this just New York?
Shut up, Robert.
This just in. This just in. Aquaman has solved global warming.
Yeah.
Why did all
Oh,
these
God,
action
this looks
figures
rough.
show up? Oh, this.
Oh,
I remember the speech being painful, Robert.
When those white suit guys can't go, like can't breathe above water, so I'm surprised the crab guy can.
yeah, like
Well, he's a crab.
Cap. I completely forgot it was New York City for this final scene. That's so weird.
Yeah, why do they do that?
Because cheaper.
But isn't he just gonna get obnoxious at the end of this and like do some whoop holler nonsense and run at the camera?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's exactly what I
Iron Man.
said. He's like, I am Aquaman. Woo!
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Get your motor running.
Hey, go get a cheeseburger and a beer, bro.
And head out on the highway. Looking for Black Manta.
Oh, this is so awkward.
Like they finally united the full family. Aquaman's parents, his baby, and Aquaman.
I forgot
Oh,
it was Born to
God.
Be Wild. I thought you were making that up. Oh my god. And yeah, I couldn't believe in the theater when that was just the Iron Man thing. I was like, it doesn't mean
Oh, what is
anything
this
here.
awful
Everybody knows
remix
you're
of
Aquaman.
it, though?
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Several of these this week, and again, a lot of these, overall we haven't liked, but like several of these this week, I can't help but go, how did anyone think people would like this?
That's a great point. Okay, great. He says he mentions being like a father and a king, but he doesn't mention being a husband. That's so good.
He has literally 0 moments with his own wife. And even when she
This
saves
mouth's very
him,
good.
they don't look like
Oh
they're
my god,
in the
this song's
same
driving me
location.
nuts.
Sorry, what?
This song's driving me nuts.
RJ Godzilla, RIP DCEU. I mean, I'm in a real good riddance place right now.
I was gonna say, Cappy, we should end the stream by you karaokeing "Good Riddance" by Green Day.
I thought you were gonna say he's gonna end it saying, "I am Captain Logan." Hooah.
Whoa! and then we all sing "Born to Be Wild" together.
That's amazing. I'm not gonna do that, but that's amazing.
And Martin Short.
Heartbreaking.
I can't believe that was Martin Short. Good God.
He was there for one scene, just like Bill Murray in Ant-Man 3.
Yeah,
oh God, I forgot about that.
Quantumania of the
Why
DCEU.
Why is he in that? Why?
And I already
anything
said
with these
Shazam
movies?
2 was Quantumania.
This is still going.
I don't know how
No,
it's
this song's
taken me.
genuinely driving me insane.
I don't know how it's taken me all this long to say this, but what am I doing with my life?
Also, is it kind of beautiful that the song this universe ended on was a Steppenwolf song?
Yeah, that's amazing. No, that's great.
I mean, a butchered one.
Yeah.
But Steppenwolf,
horribly
all
rendered.
the same.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Oh, and he's wearing a Jabberjaw shirt.
Oh,
Get
that's
it?
like King
'Cause
Shark.
It's a shark.
Oh.
He's got to represent.
Somebody went crazy with that sound design.
We haven't read comments for this. Let's go ahead and do that, Austin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, see, they used this song because he said sink or swim.
Oh no.
Robert, I think this was our most insightful commentary by far.
Oh, absolutely.
I gotta pull up Patreon here. I must just axed it from earlier.
Serial When Pigs Fly, didn't see either of them, but I had a question for both. For Aquaman 2, he says, do you think it was a mistake to adapt almost all of John's run in the first movie instead of leaving material for this one? I'm gonna say it's a mistake in that first movie just because of how overstuffed it is.
Yeah.
There are still other Aquaman runs though. Like it's not like
Yeah.
you couldn't. It's not like there wasn't anything to do after that.
That's why it said up top we should have introduced Aqualad. Like there are still other things we could have done for the sequel.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just really unfortunate that I and a lot of people had that complaint with the first movie, and then they came back and proved they had no other ideas. Like, there's nothing else they were excited to do. Like, that's so obnoxious.
Yeah, it's like they only read that run.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they may have only read a couple of
And that's
arcs
fun.
of that run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Sorry, some people saw one movie and not the other. Daniel Davis, Aquaman 2. Favorite thing, Amber Heard's incredible ghost performance. Yep, that's mine. If you told me that they had hired a mannequin, spruced it up with CGI, and called it Mira, I'd have believed you. What I'd change, maybe cut down on the plot, I guess. If they were trying to make Aquaman 2 the modern day Superman 4. Wow! Someone else said that, unless that was the same person. They could have at least done us a favor and made it a whole lot shorter. Most surprising thing, I didn't see it in the cinema. I saw Black Adam, Blue Beetle, and The Flash on the big screen, but apparently Aquaman 2 was a bridge too far for me. I don't even remember why.
Unless you have what I had with the first movie, where just suddenly you flash back to being in the theater watching it.
That was the best. He went on for half that commentary saying, like, I never saw this in the theater, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, yes, oh, yes, I did. Go ahead, Austin.
Super Billy only did Blue Beetle, okay. This is my last one, then. I only had two. Captain Coon, favorite scene/moment, Manta's attack on Atlantis. Thing I would change, kill Mira and have her stuff taken over by her dad. And thing that surprised me, Arm Naruto running.
Okay, great. And I saved this one until I had you guys here. He said he hasn't seen either of these movies. He says, this rewatch series has been fun and brought back some nostalgic memories I'd forgotten from the DCEU era. These movies, while mostly not good, were just so bizarre, but fun to watch and riff on with friends, mainly in the early years. We may have proved that with some of these. Question, what will the DCEU's legacy be? Especially if I'll start and say, especially if the James Gunn stuff is accepted pretty widely, this will just feel like one big long misstep. Where it's like we tried the shared universe thing, we did it for too long, we let it linger, but like it was all a mistake. We should have shut that down earlier.
Well, it's the cinematic equivalent of like one step forward, two steps back, right? Like we can never hit a stride. Like there's a few hits in the middle, but they never get a good flow going, and now it's just over.
Yeah, the ones people will remember will be for the singular piece. Like I think the legacy won't be as a shared universe, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman will be remembered for better or for worse, but that's a thing people know. The Snyder fans, or like the Snyder stuff, is its own corner.
Yep.
That's probably the
Of all
biggest
this.
poison to the well of this.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Austin?
Like, just in terms of its legacy, like, that you have all of that just never-ending...
Crazy Snyder people.
Like, the crazy people. Not just people who like Snyder, but, like, the hardcore, like, psycho ones.
Yeah.
Where now that's become, like, a thing that people that are into this stuff talk about.
Even the Snyder Cut getting made, like, now it doesn't feel as big or significant as it did at the time. It's just a thing that happened, and we all kind of moved on from it.
And moved on pretty quick. Part of that is because it was expected to be watched a lot harder than it was, and then it fizzled.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have any other answers you want to expound on with that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it, like Robert said, it probably will just be a legacy of failure. Unfortunately for people who like it, and I guess fortunately for people who don't. But that is probably just how it will be remembered.
Well, and even me, who likes some of these movies, Shazam, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, are all followed by sequels I don't like and leave kind of a bad taste in my mouth. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of other people have that. It's weird because when you think of other failed cinematic universes, like the Dark Universe getting ragged on a lot, it's like that's out after one movie. Like we're done, scrap it, reassess. This is a decade of films. It's pretty wild
We were stuck with
how
it
many of these
forever after
actually
it
got
felt like
made.
it was over.
Hmm.
Even when you'd get one that people liked okay, it always felt like we were just, holding pattern with it, which is the reason that I wanted it rebooted for the longest time. And it still
Mhm.
feels surreal to finally be getting my wish. I mean, I said that on the channel for forever. I was like, it felt like a pipe dream. It's funny because
I,
I'm getting two of the big things I wanted for years and years this summer, and one of them I think is going to turn out great, and the other one I hope does, but I don't trust it. I and both felt like pipe dreams at one point. I wanted DC to be full on rebooted, and that is happening. And I wanted Disney to get the FF rights back and to get Galactus in the MCU, and I am finally getting that, and both the same year.
And you wanted to see the Smurfs rebooted, but keeping Rihanna as Smurfette. So really, you're getting the three biggest wishes in pop culture that you've had for a long time.
yeah, and
I think what I want is to open up for auditions for a new regular co-host. I think
and also Black Adam will be remembered for the memes. I think that's gonna stick around for a bit.
yeah, probably
Yeah,
so.
probably. It's
That'll
that
be
weird time The Rock tried to take over DC.
that'll be like the Morbin time thing, where that will
Yeah,
continue to be quoted for a little while.
that's definitely the Morbius of the DCEU.
Mm-hmm. Austin, do you have any more?
No, I only had those two.
Okay, Bag says this is my last one. Best moment: the baby makes it very clear what this movie will feel like and demonstrates using Momoa's face. I appreciate that the film was pretty upfront about it, so I'm going to say the opening montage, I guess. What he changed, the director one said everything he had to say the first time. They needed someone else. Biggest surprise: how few craps were given. That's good. The Snyderverse's last words being an "I am Iron Man" moment and tossing the mic in the air like you just don't care, a la Luke's lightsaber, is a poetic final note of this continuity. Yeah, that's a good point. It is kind of weird that, and obviously, this is just odd coincidence, but that, like, besides the mid credits, the last thing you get in this universe is a what feels like a jokey reference to the first movie in the MCU.
And that's also how the first Aquaman ends, which I'd completely forgotten until we watched it.
Hmm.
Just
I'm,
not, in front of a press
I'm not
conference.
even
We do the
remembering
I am
now.
I am Aquaman thing.
Does
It's
he
like the
say
last
that?
line of that. Yeah.
I didn't
Well, I think
remember
what
that.
he says like I'm the protector of the deep or something.
Well, he says something
Uh,
he leads into it, and then he goes, "I am Aquaman,"
Does he?
and then we
Does he
cut to
actually say
credits.
that? Crazy.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. He just didn't yell, and then Steppenwolf started playing.
Ben's Den. Austin's getting the boot. Yeah, we'll make sure to do the ranking video, and then he'll read his resignation letter on air.
And that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always a bigger boot.
We'd like to thank you for your service.
And I mean, Cap, for you, like this isn't even done yet because you guys are gonna have to do most of these again for Rewind. So it's not even over for you.
Thanks for reminding us. The nice thing is there are a lot of superhero movies, and people are not going to be begging for any of these for a while because we just talked about them. So we can put them off for a bit, and they'll probably just come up uh, I would imagine at least some of them as requested things. Well, I don't know that any individual will do like a paid request, but like they might show up on a poll if it's themed. Although I'm sure Austin will avoid that like the plague, so maybe not. But we'll see what happens.
It is interesting for you though that so much of your history with this channel is just documenting the rise and fall of the DCEU. Like you were with it every step of the way, and that is on video.
Yeah, that's
Going all
true.
the way back to Man of Steel. And you were doing the channel for what, like maybe 5 years
Yeah,
at that point?
yeah. I started in
And now
Yeah.
we're over a decade past that. Like that's a big part of your channel history is just talking about these movies.
That's a really good point.
And now we're there for the new number one. I think there's also on the Blue Beetle side with Bag Cap a question he had for it that you wanted to save for this one.
Oh,
Because I was
thanks.
listening to the Blue Beetle one, and you were like, I want to answer this question on the next one.
Yeah, thanks, man. If Gunn
Yeah, no
wasn't
worries.
allowed to reboot and he had to continue the Snyderverse, do you think there could have been any success to be found, and how? Yeah, absolutely. It would have been awkward just having to deal with that baggage, and I think he slowly could have kind of uh, molded past it and basically soft rebooted inside of that. Like the Suicide Squad is proof of that, and you would have just kept going in a direction from that. And I don't know what exactly you do with actors that don't want to be there anymore or that have already left and may not come back and that kind of thing. Like, could he get Cavill to stick around? Maybe, but like Affleck has done. So what do you do with Batman? Like there is kind of the question of what do you do with some of those bigger characters.
Yeah, because of that, my answer is no. Just because, like, your main Justice League's kind of screwed by that point. Like, there's nowhere to go from there.
Well, I think if you're
Um,
stuck with the Snyderverse continuity technically, and I don't know why this would happen, right? Like why Warner's would give you the keys to the kingdom and say you can't reboot, but if it's all a technicality, all Snyder has to do is sorry, all Gunn has to do is find uh like fantasy or science fantasy loopholes to replace characters, right? You just bring in a more traditional Batman or Superman from another universe and you're done. You're golden.
mhm,
And that I imagine is how Gunn would have handled that. You just
mhm.
maybe not even with a full-blown crisis, you just find story ways to bring in characters from different universes. It's been done a lot in comics. There's no reason he couldn't use that as an excuse.
Mhm.
That's what that's what we did with Superman and Rebirth. Like we
That's
literally
that's what I was
brought
gonna
the
say.
old Superman back to replace the new 52 version.
Yeah, Dan Jurgens said, "Oh, this isn't Superman. I'll just bring in the one I did in the '90s," and I imagine that's how Gunn would have handled it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why my answer is no. Is it's just you literally have to rip what's there out and replace it anyways. So it's like you're still just kind of rebooting it at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah.
No, at some point it would stop being that continuity. Like you
Mhm,
technically could, and you would just have to be like reforming it over time, and it would have been really. And
mhm.
like that's why I always said I wanted a full on reboot. Like thank God that's not happening. But for people that didn't see the Blue Beetle commentary Brandon and I did earlier, I have gone on record to say I am now fully fine if they decide to say that is retroactively DCU. There's no reason it
Yeah.
can't be.
Mhm. I think it basically is. Like that sequel show is supposed to be DCU. Gunn has said that like they're keeping that actor for Blue Beetle moving
Okay, well then
forward.
then it is
So I
done.
Mhm.
think, and the director of that movie is like directly involved with that show. So I feel like it
I didn't know
it
that.
it either is DCU or it's like the Suicide Squad thing where it's like something kind of like that is connected
Something
to
in the
this
middle.
world, but it's
Yeah.
not exactly that.
There
But mhm.
there might just be little things that don't match up or
Yeah, exactly.
recastings and stuff.
Well, and it already
Mhm.
didn't matter whether or not the Suicide Squad was an honest to god sequel to Suicide Squad. Like it's
Right.
Mhm.
really easy to look at that as either, and so
Mhm.
that might be what ends up happening with some of the rest of those.
No, the biggest wrench ended up being the Justice League scene in Peacemaker.
Which Gunn says he's gonna address. It'll be because a lot of people are still like, oh, why can't we do a hard reboot? Why is like the Suicide Squad kind of canon and kind of not canon? I need to see both Superman and Peacemaker season 2 before I fully know where I land on that. Personally, um, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and I used to
I just
be.
think it's funny that the most unprecedented thing at the time is now the biggest thorn in the side of this moving forward, where they shot that Justice League cameo on a Marvel set, and now it's
Yep.
like, we shouldn't have done that.
It's too bad that happened. Yeah, I was real hardlined, and a part of me still is, but like I was real hardlined. I want like full complete reboot, just so people aren't confused, and so that I don't have to listen to people that aren't sure about Gunn or really against his getting that job, like finding stuff to complain about. But the more I'm thinking about, like especially when we watched the Suicide Squad this last week, I was thinking about this real hard, where I'm like, Gunn's basically gonna have to take some of these characters and like if he's not allowed to go back to those versions and like reinvent them again, and that's the way he would do those characters. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
then,
that's why
like,
some of that stuff
that
doesn't really bother
that
me.
gets really awkward.
And there again, like I said when we did that movie, it's all really small characters.
Right.
Like Amanda Waller, I guess, is the biggest one, but even then, like, she's not that important to an overall DC universe.
Unless we decide to put her in freaking everything,
Like the DCEU.
like the DCEU did, and like New 52 did, and
Yeah, I'm heartbroken this movie didn't have a weird after credits scene of somebody trying to recruit Aquaman for the Justice Society.
yeah, I'm glad that never went
Oh
anywhere.
no. You know what the ending should have been? Okay, I love the post credit scene of this being the final note. I have one nitpick now that like should have been there. It should have been Mr. Mind. It should have been he's eating that burger and then Mr. Mind crawls by and he picks him up, puts him in the burger and eats him.
That'd be a payoff.
It would have been a payoff.
Would have closed that up.
And he's like, no! As he's being eaten.
What I'll
I
still
had
say,
so many plans.
and I'll say once again, I'll never understand why they didn't just put the Flash at the end and have it come out at Christmas and like flip those around. I'll never understand that.
Yeah, that's what they should have done, but the first Aquaman came out at Christmas and made $1 billion, so I get why they wanted to put the sequel out at Christmas.
Well, then they could have waited and put Flash out like into the next year, which would be hilarious
God.
because they kept pushing it off so far. Yeah,
We had to throw the stuff out.
it's a moot point because they both suck, but again, just
Well, and there
bookending
was
would be the
already
feel
so
and all
much
that.
like really annoying, like, oh, this is what the DCU is going to be. It's going to be like George Clooney's the Batman of it, and I think it would have been way more annoying if it was the last movie of the DCEU too, where it's like now we have over a year to wait to know anything about what they're doing.
Well, that yeah,
Where it's
that's
like now it really feels like we maybe rebooted into what the new world will be, and oh, we didn't really though.
yeah. I mean, it would have been a much smarter thing to have that at the end and make that ending actually feel like a soft reboot into whatever they're doing next. But
That's what people are saying in the live chat was
But I
they
hate
should have
that
done
movie.
Flashpoint to
so
reboot stuff.
yeah,
I just rip the Band-Aid off. Whatever.
yeah.
It's over. It's fine.
Put this universe out like Gold Yeller.
Well, on that note, we are sort of doing that, although we'll be talking about it one more time here in a week. And then, yeah, eventually we'll have to do the rewind commentaries. But we're going to do a ranked list, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to do that now that I've gone back through these again. Some of those will feel kind of arbitrary. But there are a couple movies that will have moved pretty dramatically from where I might have had them not going back to these. So I am glad that we did this exercise. And once again, it has been really fun hanging out with you guys and hanging out with the chat. And thanks a ton, you guys. It had this. The biggest takeaway for me, outside of just how odd it is watching this, like super, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's getting late and my brain doesn't work. This universe that's so all over the place and keeps reinventing itself in rapid succession, where it didn't feel like a cohesive universe in the first place. Yes, it really doesn't when you watch it all together like that. But my big takeaway is these like week-long or couple week-long mini manias are a cool idea. And if we have the right topics for them, I think people would probably enjoy seeing those again. So I'm not promising anything, but I would like to do more of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Austin, you know what watching all these back to back feels like? It feels like watching.
Actually, I can't. Sorry, I can't say it on the channel. Go. What were you gonna say?
To Cap's point, it feels like watching 40 years worth of James Bond movies back to back, where you're skipping the transitional ones, and it's just the hard left and right turns throughout, like constantly reinventing yourself, like Cap was talking about. It's very strange.
Except they're all on the level of Moonraker or View to a Kill.
It's mostly the bad ones.
Nicholas Bodo had a great time these last 2 weeks watching this universe devolve. Andre Pop Culture Talk, thanks guys for awesome DCEU Mania. Excited for live stream ranking. Thanks guys. Angel Castaneda, there goes my idea of you guys watching all the DC movies Mania idea. I mean, I would have never done that at this point.
That's too much.
Yeah, it'll have to be something now with like fewer movies that we can, because the Mania thing we've kind of messed around with format wise, and I kind of thought we'd never do another one where it eventually, because it started as when Eric and I did the first Marvel Mania, it started as Marvel movies every single day, and we did it with Batman, and we missed some days here and there, but it was supposed to be a bunch of days in a row, and then eventually when DJ and I came back and did Marvel Mania Part 2. We just did one like every 2 weeks. It wasn't really a mania at that point. We even prepared for some of those, so now they're just regular commentaries. So doing it again, I kind of want to go back to that first idea, but we'd lose regular content for too long if you did something that was 32, 64 movies, and so it's got to be something like this where we can either doing all of it is only a couple 3 weeks worth, or we can kind of cherry pick some stuff out of a genre, subgenre, or something, and that's kind of what I want to do with some things.
Yeah.
Is you just pick a topic, and whoever of us is on it, we come up with a schedule. We pick a few. We do 10 days, 15 days, whatever it is, Monday through Friday like this. But this has been so much fun. I'd love to do this again with something.
Yeah, the one that we're talking about doing, I think people are going to be excited for.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a while. We could go ahead and announce it now if you want to, Austin, or we can wait.
It's entirely up to you. Doesn't bother me.
I mean, this crowd's been kind of, waiting around with us watching a terrible movie. We might as well give them something.
Oh, okay.
This isn't
so.
This isn't a big one or anything, but I think it will be fun. We don't even know what all the movies are going to be yet, but we do have a plan for October. So when I said I'm not going to promise anything, I mean I'll promise this, but like moving forward, I would like to do more of these, and I just don't know when or if what exactly they'll be. But anyway, we'll let Austin announce this one.
So every year, people ask me, "Hey, what are the 2 movies you're going to show Cap for Halloween this year?" Because we've been doing that a lot. The last few years, we're gonna do exactly this, like a 2-week, 10-movie Halloween Mania thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
I love that idea.
Austin's gonna pick 5. I'm gonna pick 5, and we've been already talking about what some of them are gonna be. And I don't know if like Austin, you'll get a whole week and I'll get a whole week, or if we'll mix it up.
Yeah, I feel like probably mix it up, but we could do it either way. I can throw out one of them I will definitely do as Christine, since I've been meaning to show Cap that for a long time now. So that is definitely one I will pick, 100%.
Okay, well, I'll give one too. One of them I'll definitely pick as Flatlanders.
Yeah, so there's going to be some cool stuff.
That's awesome.
What?
I still think.
Good.
Oh, sorry. No, I still think you should do Superman Mania at some point, but that is a lot of animated movies, so that's a problem. An obvious one that would be short is Star Trek Mania.
For movies,
just do all those movies. Yeah, just the movies. That's what 13.
I mean, I've already got commentaries on all of those, so I don't know if I would want to do that again. But maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Austin was on any of those. So.
No, he wasn't. And again, that would be really easy to do. But I would almost, with Austin, rather do episodes.
That makes sense, yeah.
That'd be more fun for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Just every damn thing I have to say about those movies. And we have multiple commentaries on a couple of those. I think Motion Picture we have too, and yeah.
You do still need to do a commentary on Section 31. Just throwing that out there. The channel needs it.
I forgot that existed.
I'll have to resubscribe to Paramount Plus for that nonsense. And that's the only way I would watch that is blind commentary. There's no way I'm sitting down and paying attention to that. Like, no.
That's probably going to be the most awkward movie to watch for like a Mania, because Cap's going to be like, ooh, and I'm going to be like, I don't know anything about Star Trek. I'm not as passionate about it as you are.
I thought about doing it.
This is bad. Sure.
I thought about doing it solo, but John Kelling, $2 super chat. I got Superman Mania covered, fellas. Yeah, he did that.
That's true. Oh, and that's also true, Angel. You guys still need to finish the Pirates movies. You got 2 more.
I mean, do we though? Do we have to?
Yeah.
We'll get
2 more.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Sure appreciate it. And once again, join us here in a week when we break down our rankings for these. Austin, have you started on yours yet? Do you have any idea what yours is going to look like?
Oh, yeah. I've been doing it as we've been going. So
well, you know what? That's a great idea. I should have done that.
Yeah, it is really, really hard, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think I can comfortably predict what Austin's top 4 are and what the order is.
Let's see. What is it?
Yeah, well, one's the Suicide Squad, obvious.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then...
Wrong!
2 would be Blue Beetle. 3, I think, is Shazam, and then 4, I think, would be BVS. And then I don't know.
I can neither confirm nor deny how incredibly incorrect you are.
Yeah, that's definitely wrong. And you don't get any points for saying Blue Beetle is 2 because he said that like 9 times. He said
it 9 times.
He said second favorite like 9 times. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get going. I appreciate you guys. Once again, I was Captain Logan. We had Austin the Day Ghost.
Good night, everybody. Now I'm going to sleep for the next week.
Seriously. Austin, I appreciate you being a trooper on this and sticking with me for most of these, especially since we had to pack it into 2 weeks instead of 3, which is just nonsense.
But we got through it. We made it work.
I can't even believe it. We didn't miss a day. We didn't have huge technical issues.
Yep.
I didn't get sick in the middle of it.
We snutted through it all night long, baby.
We sure did, man. We got through the snot. Robert, are you gonna come back for the ranking?
That depends on the day.
He was like, no.
He ain't gonna commit. All right. Anyway, we also had Robert Wild. Good night, everybody. Thanks, folks. Okay, Konnor says you don't have to go home, but you can't snot here. Bye, everybody.